Hello, hello. For today's free tangle lesson, we're going to learn about two different tangles today. Both of these make for really great backgrounds if you're wanting to just fill like a texture into your background. And then we'll have the opportunity to create a tile later in as an online class. So let's take a look at these tangles. Today the tangle is Ahh. This is an original Zentangle pattern. This is one of the first ones that they created. It's an original. Once you become a CZT and you can actually create your own patterns and then get them submitted and whatnot, but this is one of the original patterns. Okay, so what we call a step out, these are the different steps that it takes to create the actual pattern. This one's very, very simple. You're going to be using lines to actually create white space, because you can use white space as an actual element. So you're going to create some lines kind of like a starburst, and you're going to leave a circle of white space on the inside. It's going to create kind of an illusion. Okay, you can see that illusion of a white circle in the middle of there. That's step one. Step two, you're going to add little dots to the end of your lines. Okay. And then step three, let me get a little bit darker color. You can see it. And then step three, you're just going to kind of fill in your spots with some little floating dots. When it comes to art, odd numbers look the best. So you can put 1, you could put 3. You want to try to stay away from even numbers. Odds just look more appealing when it comes to art. So as you're creating this pattern, you can create big ones and little ones and kind of scatter them around. They give a little bit of like a firework feel to it. Okay, kind of like that. You can go about shading if you want to shade kind of the middle. In order to shade, I'm just going to be using a regular pencil. I also have these cool Zentangle pencils, but I want a little bit of a darker shade. So this is just a regular number 2 pencil. And then this is a tool called a tortillon. It's basically just rolled paper that you use to move the graphite around. So if you wanted to, you could shade maybe the bottom half of this inside circle. And then you take your tortillon and you move in little circles around, just moving that graphite around. And that kind of gives more of like a 3D kind of effect in the middle. You can do something like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other. I plan on doing another example, but I showed you the, the shading there, so we don't even need to worry about it there. Okay, the next one is called Amaze. And it was originally called Amaze. This is another original, but they have actually changed the name since then. It's now called Stiritup. So you could see it either way, Amaze or Stiritup. And this one's very simple. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to start in one place and you're just going to be creating squiggle lines all through. Now there are two things that you're trying to do. One, you want to try to fill up as much space as you can. And two, you don't want to cross over your lines. Okay, so if you get yourself trapped like this, you don't want to cross over. You can just start in a new spot. Okay, but you're basically just creating this crazy complicated looking texture. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter. I could go all the way down here if I wanted to, and then start backing up into different locations. It really doesn't matter. You're just wanting to kind of keep it random, and you don't want to cross through your line. That's about the basic. And so when you're filling up this entire space, this one can be one of those where you kind of forget you're supposed to be relaxing. So as you're doing this one, make sure you monitor your hands. You shouldn't be all white from stress, okay? You need to relax your hand. You need to breathe. This one, your fingers can get very stressed, and then you'll kind of like realize, oh my gosh, I'm like holding the pen so strong, okay? So you want to kind of monitor, like, am I just kind of going with the flow and enjoying the movement like a river, or am I stressed out trying to get this done? Okay, you want to monitor that as you go. You know, shake your hand out, keep breathing. You know, you don't want this to be a stress thing. That is not the point of Zentangle. Zentangle is a meditative type of drawing where you are relaxing and you're breathing and you're letting everything go, and you're giving yourself some time, just some time to focus on you. Focus on anything but what stresses you in your life. Now, this is a time to think about nothing but this flowing line and let everything else go. Okay, so you're going to have this really cool background effect, and this can be a neat way to fill in, you know, different things. If you have a string going this way, you know, and if you have different patterns here, but you have like this little bitty section that you want to fill in, this makes a really cool pattern for just filling in little bitty sections. You could fill even borders with it. It would look really neat as a border. If you had an aura going this way and you just wanted to fill it up to give it some texture, that would be really cool too. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little preview to the tile that I'm going to be working on today. That will be available to you guys later. So here is a preview of the tile. We're going to be using our Ahh here. Our Stiritup will find its way through here, our Amaze. I'm also going to be using fescue. I'm going to be doing some auras throughout, colored and left open. Rick's Paradox, which was a previous video. Some poke root, and some prontoms. Okay, so I hope to see you there.